My son, Bryce, he was a beautiful young man. He was prescribed Oxycontin, 300 milligrams with acetaminophen for this simple injury.
Ashley's mother had knee surgery, and they operated on the wrong knee, so they put her on pain meds.
Seemed like a lot for such a simple injury, but that's what they gave him. And he got addicted to that.
She self-prescribed, self-medicated the kids. Shortly thereafter, I discovered that my daughter was an alcoholic and was also taking prescription drugs.
Those little pills got expensive, so he turned to heroin.
Next thing I know, I find out that she is really heavily into opiates.
We're seeing a lot of people who are given pain medicine, including opioids and synthetic opioids, during the acute phase of an illness. But for long-term use, it's not that effective. And what it's creating is people who have become addicted.
By 60, 90 days, you could be hooked on the drugs, and then the withdrawal is so bad.
It's a problem they had no idea that they were getting into when they started.
They need narcotics, they need the heroin, and what they're doing is if they can't get that, they can't get their fix, they're resorting to crime and violent crime to get it.
This is ravaging families, it's ravaging communities.
They're really hurting, they're suffering, and that's what I see in them because I know where they've been, because I've been there.
What we're seeing is our babies are the ones who are collateral damage. We've seen a 1,200% increase in our babies admitted.
We need some help to move forward on what we're gonna do. We need a solution.
As a human being, you cannot hear what is going on and the pleas for help and stand on the sidelines.
The best way to combat this issue is to make sure that we limit the amount prescribed to a person.
They need to stop. They need to evaluate what they're prescribing, how much, how often, why.
This bill focuses on that to try to address that so that we're forced to look at better long-term solutions versus, long-term opioid use.
I would say that this becomes kind of a pay me now, pay me later paradigm.
I think this bill that's being sponsored is probably a good step in the right direction.
A lot of people look at heroin addicts or, addicted to just the opiate pills. They look at them as being junkies. And yeah, they may be at that time, but that's not who they are. They're really hurting, they're suffering.
He had a job, he had a career, he was happy, he had a life, he had a life. The drugs stole his life.
We're losing these people left and right, not just through the addiction itself, but through death. It's happening, and it's happening right in front of us.
I'm going to a funeral tomorrow. I just heard of another one relapsed yesterday. The day before that, it was 2 more that just overdosed. We're seeing it. We're in the trenches. We're seeing this firsthand.
This is the moment that we have to take strong action.
I thought I could fix him. I was going to fix my baby. I brought him home so I could fix him.
On Ashley's birthday, her mother passed away from complications associated with the drugs and alcohol. And I thought it would have an effect on her, but it did not. She has overdosed 3 times in the last 60 days.
The worst day of my life happened. On May 9th, 2015, I took 2 steps in the room, and there's my baby on the bed dead. Needle still in the arm. And my world stopped. My son would be alive today if it wasn't for that prescription.